We already know we're about to pull up. We about to pull up.
This is our future.
We're going to talk about the issues that we have been having for the past couple of days as a huge group.
You can bring that up. This is a good place.
Who is willing to start this conversation?
Did you guys notice
you
overreact to everything?
Look at
Patrick, how the tribal council has their meetings?
Yeah, right here.
Well, I've never been in one. But they meet the second Tuesday of every month. Our council meets here and, of course, discuss our issues, our problems. Let's see, since I've been here, I think I've gone through three chairmen, I believe. Our chairmans are, we have one now, he's the youngest, he was the youngest chairman in the nation, but we have a woman now in Cass Lake. She's a chairwoman now. She's the youngest in the nation. So it doesn't matter what age you guys are. You can have power. Got some believers behind you.
All the water from out the lake out.
There's that one in Cass Lake is a chairwoman. She's a chairperson.
Ladies, you hear what Patrick said? Women are equal to men.
What? Moving to another question. I have a lot of questions. Is it to be a chair or to be a chairperson or to be on the council? Is there a voting system or how are people?
Yeah.
Are they elected? Is there a public voting?
Are there term limits?
They have 4 years. And they can
Every seat.
they can no, the other ones, the representatives of the districts, I think they're every 2 years. So we get new faces in here as much as we can, but if you're really good at what you do, we keep you in here.
Did they finally pass a term limit? 2 term limits or no?
I think it was 2, I think, but Buck's been in there twice.
Right.
Election period, so I'm not sure if he's able to run again.
This room be on TV like almost every other day.
Yeah, this is a important room for Red Lake.
So what the cameras do?
They come when the meeting happens.
The meeting now, right?
This is a different special meeting.
This reservation, also our hereditary chiefs are chiefs that were in here before I was born. They have, as a matter of fact, that's a chief that you've seen on the wall at the high school. These are one of the main chiefs of our tribe in the past that he decided he didn't want no alcohol here in Red Lake. Today, it still exists. We do not have liquor stores.
So alcohol is illegal.
You can, of course, you can do anything illegal, but legally you cannot have alcohol here in Red Lake.
I'm drunk right now.
And again, our chief said that the reason was because the younger generation will be drinking, and our tribe will just slowly deteriorate with these. And I think he was right. I think that was a really good move not to have liquor stores here. And I mean, they still bring it in, from outside, from Bemidji or whatever. They bring it in, but legally, you're not supposed to have it. And I'm glad it is that way. We have enough problems with alcoholism here in Red Lake, and that would only, of course, enhance that. So we're trying to get a grip on that. Drinking here and drugs and what have you. Yes. Smoke cigarettes. Yes. We get cigarettes at the store. Just the main thing was alcohol.
Can you say a little something about tobacco, because I don't think they know anything about the use of tobacco or the way that tobacco is traditionally treated. No, I'm not chewing or smoking necessarily, but tobacco has different meanings in traditional Native American.
Tobacco, basically, it's offering. You're offering the spirits. Like, say, you're going to go out and strip birch bark trees. You take a sharp instrument, you peel the bark off, and you use it for whatever, birch bark containers, put down tobacco before we take anything from that tree. If you're,
When you say put down, you
by
burn
the,
it back?
nope, we just lay it
Put it
down
on
at
the
the base of the tree, let's say. Usually, due to the east side of the tree where the sun comes up. So it's not just putting it down anywhere on the ground. We put it to the east side. So tobacco is we offer a lot of tobacco for things in our life. It's something that we like say before we eat, we have a feast. We lay tobacco down and we make a spirit plate. Put a little bit of what we're having, and we put it outside. And so there's many things that we use tobacco for. It's an offering.
Pat, here's even for meetings here.
Yep,
This
there's
is a
tobacco
tobacco.
right over there.
I'll just show it. Just, they must burn it before any meeting.
Really?
I mean, it's sacred and kind of calls on the spirits and the workings of the council to, you know, have people blend their ideas and the goodness of, in the name of the people and the nation and the earth. It's always.
So yep, that's an example right there. Tribal council always burns tobacco before they begin. Myself, I'm a person of that. I offer tobacco for a lot of things. In the mornings, I'll burn sage. That kind of clears the bad spirits out of your house or any other things that's around you. And you burn the sage, and it's kind of cleanse you and get you to a different frame of mind. So I do that in the mornings.
Is that what this is on?
I believe this might be, I'm not sure of this tobacco, but I think this is. Yeah. Looks like sage. All the leaves are. Again, they use the rock to burn their sage. So there's things that, to other people, it may not seem relevant or important, but to us, even just offering tobacco, if you meet somebody, you offer them tobacco too. There's so many ways that you can use tobacco for a good purpose. And again, if just like anything else, you abuse anything, it's bad for you. If you have tobacco, you smoke it, you smoke too much cigarettes, it's going to be bad for you. So you just can't abuse whatever that you're into.
I remember that one guy, I think it was Father Pat, or maybe Bill Merkins, said that anything that's a sacrament, like in the Christian faith, the little wine is the blood of Jesus, and if you abuse that, then it's alcohol. So any of those offerings are sacred, and tobacco is the same, but they're not meant for recreational use. When you go over that, then you're, into some sickness stuff. So he always kind of likened it.
We are getting a new building for the council, plus a new Red Lake College. It's going to be back behind us where the powwow grounds are, and it's going to be 4 buildings, but it's going to be really cool buildings. That front entranceway is 2 eagles. You can see eagles in the structure of the building, and they're going to break ground within a month or so. To that point now. So it's going to be kind of cool. Get a new buildings. The powwow ground is going to be right in the center court of the buildings. So that's the center court. Even though the powwow ground is pretty well, not too old. It's a nice powwow ground. So if you're not familiar with powwow, I don't think you guys are you?
Oh, powwow.
I know what a powwow is.
We talked about it, but they may not remember. You may want to remind them.
Yes.
You had it last night.
No, we called that a powwow because we were sitting down a meeting, but that's a very different thing.
Yeah.
That's a word that people use in all over America and all over the world just to mean a meeting. But what he's talking about is a specific event. So
Yeah, we have.
What was that a get together, right?
We dance.
Yeah, that's all right.
And sing and dance.
I did that last year when we
So we have like 2. Let's see. I think 2 powwows coming up this summer. We have Fair Time. That's a community powwow where people make things and put them in for exhibition. for exhibiting, and then they'll get so much money for whatever they make, you know. Like my grandkids, they'll sit around and make little paper things and all kinds of little artwork. They turn them in, and by the end of the powwow, they'll receive like, geez, they pay out pretty good, like $180 for just making all different kinds of little creative things, you know, out of paper, anything, any kind of material.
Wow.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, the kids around here, they'll make their powwow money, their taco money, or their pop money, their Doritos or whatever, and they make them themselves, you know. So that's community powwow. We have our competition powwow where people come into the reservations from all over the country, and you're give prize money for dancing and drumming. You have your drum groups. First place can go as high up to $2,000 a drum. First place.
Here's an old flyer of the, excuse me, I hope it's okay.
Yeah.
Of the 1994 Red Lake 4th of July powwow prize. You can see the beautiful outfits, the princess.
And it lasts for 4 or 5 days, 4 days.
Yeah, I think since then they changed it though, because isn't it, Patrick, on the Red Lake Nation?
Yeah, our Independent Day isn't
different.
on the 4th. It's on the 6th of July.
Yeah.
So it's
I
a
have a
nationwide
question. I want to ask,
nationwide
but
holiday
I gotta
here.
wait first.
It's on the 4th, but for here it's on the 6th.
Yeah, you guys should fly in for that.
There was one, I think there's one, White Earth is this weekend or next weekend, or when we were thinking that we might overlap with it, but we're gonna miss it, unfortunately. Did some of you hear that music when we first came into the school and they were doing their beads, and we were lost, but you remember that? I think, yeah, that was some of the singing and drumming that you might hear at a powwow. It doesn't sound as good off of a little stereo, but it, you know, that's the sort of music.
And is that one of the drums that would be used?
Yeah. Yep.
Do y'all see the drum? See the drum over there?
Yeah.
The big drum? But it's a community drum, like more than one person will be drumming on it.
You can get as many as 18 drums to 25 drums, depending on the size of the powwow, how many people participates in it.
And Patrick, can I show him? When you talk about Red Lake Nation, because it switched from the 4th of July to, like Patrick's saying, the 6th, because if, believe it or not, this is my thing, I taught the history, but this used to be Red Lake Nation, okay? This is now the area, because we're right here in Red Lake, and then there's Redby where the fishery is. I'll go over there. And then you guys came on this road, you went over here to Outlet to fish. But this is the reservation today, what people call the diminished reservation. And they say diminished because this is the size. And this, actually, 1863, there was a treaty and they ceded 11 million acres. That was the first treaty. But because this is a Minnesota, you guys state of Minnesota map, a lot of my students, what I tried to teach them is, because North Dakota is on this side, actually this 11 million acre cession, the first one that Red Lake ceded, was even bigger. It was out to here, but they're not showing it because of North Dakota. So anyhow, this used to be even more. That went in 1863, and then there was another treaty session in 1889 that this land was ceded. And there was other little treaties, but for your sake, and then this is now Red Lake Nation. But this is a celebration. I know that sometimes my students got mad and said, Schwan, why are we, look at the size of our nation, down to 827,000 acres, including the lake, when Red Lake Nation used to be, this was 11 million, this was like 3.9. Used to be 15 million acres. That's how big the reservation was. But that's what happened in the treaty era. I don't know how you explain it, Patrick, but you can talk about a lot of them.
That's why our July 6th is our Independent Day, because that's when we sign our treaties. The main one, 1889. So again, that's our Independent Day.
Can you explain a little bit? I saw the sign out there, but Red Lake, how it's different from a lot of other reservations where the Native American tribes were moved. I know maybe Diane, I'm sure you went over this in your classes all the time, but I tried to explain it to the guys. I don't know how much they.
I don't know. Probably the easiest way to explain it. Okay, so when we're talking about Red Lake Nation as being a nation, this is solid land. I mean, you're in Indian country. I mean, there's no non-Indian people except the whatever hospital and couple in Redby or whatever stores that are in railroad easement land. But this solid Indian land. This map was made prior to what we called the Dawes Allotment Act, which was 1880. I was getting Nelson and Dawes, 1889. So this map was made before that. You're thinking this is White Earth Reservation, and this is Leech Lake, where you're saying they had that powwow. All these reservations, when you go on there, they're not solid land, like Red Lake. If you go on, use White Earth because it's more of a square, it's checkerboard reservation. In other words, they passed a law called Dawes Allotment where they broke up the reservation. As you see, it diminished. Because see, look at this. This is 1855. Look how huge this was, their land together. But anyhow, just pretend back in 1855, you took every enrolled member, like whatever your name is. What was your name?
Genuine.
Okay. Your family, you get 160 acres. There you go. That's yours. What's your first name?
Marie.
Okay. Here's your 160 acres. And they went down all the enrollment, as how many people. But remember, in 1855, there wasn't that many people. And they assigned everybody a piece of a square allotment of 160 to 40 acres. And the land that was left over after all the enrolled members at the time were given was considered surplus land, and they just took it. The government took it. So pretend most of the time it took at least half the reservation. And then the thing is with allotment, when you buy a car and you finally finish paying the car off, what do you get to prove you made those payments and you own it?
A title. A receipt.
A title, yep, and a receipt of title. Same thing with people that got their allotments. So then it's a convoluted thing based on whether you were full blood or mixed blood, how long you could hold it in trust with the federal government. But the point is people could sell it. And so people did sell land. So maybe they go down, I'm not very far away off the reservation line, and ask Schwann's, hey, do you want to buy half of my 160? I'll sell you my 80 for, I don't know, 1,500. And so what you have then is the Indian land itself that was held became checkerboard because it was sold to farmers or to timber companies. Were dying for the land because Chicago and Minneapolis were being built. And so that's what created. Do you see what I mean? These other reservations, it's not showing you. If you look at a real map of White Earth, you'll see about 8. They own, of this green, they own about 9%. It's creeping up there because there's a woman, Winona LaDuke, that's reclaiming land.
We hope to meet tomorrow.
Oh, are you meeting her tomorrow?
I don't know, we're trying.
Who knows?
Really? But see, okay, well that would be great because she could really explain this, but they've only got, let's give them 10%. But then Patrick can maybe talk about this, but Red Lake never agreed to allotment. They did not vote for it.
It's the only closed reservation in the United States, is where you're sitting at. We cannot own the land. I have a house in Red Lake here, but where the land is underneath it, I don't own it. I'll never own it. I'm just a trustee here for the land. So I can pass my house out to my children and that, but I'll never own the land because Red Lake's closed. It's a commodity. We all own the land here. So we just can't own sections of our land here in Red Lake. We're the only reservation that has that. The other reservations, what Diane was referring to as checkerboard, is the government owns, the state owns part of that land, and then the people that do live there, they do own that land, so they can sell that land. If you're a Native American, you own some land there, you can sell some of that to somebody else. So it gets smaller and smaller, your land base. But our land land base at this time is a closed res. We don't sell our land. It's not our. It's a land that we hold together, and that's what we call a closed reservation. It's the only one in the United States. So.
Can I ask one question? Like, I notice every time I look at the map, how come Chippewa is like spreaded all around it? Like it's like different sections of the map. It says Chippewa on it.
Okay, those are just different bands of Chippewa.
Oh, okay.
You got Chippewa of Lake Superior, Chippewa of Minnesota, the Mississippi. You got the Red Lake Chippewa.
Is your question today that why does it each say Chippewa or
Yeah, like
as
why
opposed
does
to
it opposed to like it's just all being like Chippewa?
oh
Why is it like is there like different types of Chippewa, like different
Yes,
places
different
where they
bands.
live?
Different bands.
Oh, okay.
Different
What
bands
is
of
a
Chippewa.
band?
A band is different. Yep, it's the same tribe, but it's a band coming from a different region.
Right. This is an old map, but there's 7 bands. This must be Grand. Oh, there's Grand Portage. Huh?
Yep.
Okay. Grand Portage, Net Lake, Red Lake, White Earth, Leech Lake, Mille Lacs Lake. Those are the 7 bands of, and this gets confusing too, because nobody Chippewa, Ojibwe,
yeah.
or Anishinaabe, kind of. I don't know.
That's how people just when they wrote. Oh, they pronounce our tribe or our band. It just keeps changing. It starts with Ojibwe, Chippewa, but they're all the same. They're all the same.
Tribe.
It's just that way it comes in history books. It's just whoever writes it just use the pronunciation or translation, and but it's the same.
So the organization goes tribe, band, and then clan is the even smaller one.
Yeah. Yep.
Good question. Maybe we want to tell them about the students.
Any other questions?
No, there is Sue down there.
Oh, yeah.
I have one question.
That old line.
Mary Jo?
Yeah, I was just asking, what does eagle mean in your culture? Because I have seen many eagles that I came. There's one there too.
There's a beautiful one there.
Well, the eagle is the top clan in our culture. We have our clans. And like I said, I'm from the bear, but the eagle's the most powerful one. That's the highest one that you can be in.
So which like not I know that the
And
like
you're not
rated.
supposed to.
So like which one's like if the eagle's at the top, who's in the middle, and who's at the bottom?
Okay. It depends. Like on the bears are the second in line
Okay.
for the most
So like the
powerful
turtle
clan.
is the last one.
You can also see on the, more or less the flag too.
Oh, and I could.
So it's like a guy in your family tree.
There it is over here.
Yeah. So like okay, the eagle's the first one.
Yep.
Who's the last one? I'm figuring it's not the turtle. Oh.
Okay, we got the eagle. That's the most powerful. The clan, the one that watches over the other clans from the sky. The bear is the second one. That one's on Mother Earth here, and it also watches over the other clans. You're asking what's the bottom of the clan.
I would figure it's either the turtle or the bullfish.
Actually, I think it's the marten and the otter.
Oh. Wow.
Down on the tree there, yes. Those are marten and otter. They're kind of right in the same. There's not one higher or lower than each other. They're kind of right together.
Yeah,
That's what that bird.
Yeah.
What's that right there? Look like
The bird. This bird?
That's a kingfisher.
I got them in my little.
So it's like a bird.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a
bird.
bird.
It's a
It's
type
called
of
a
bird.
It's a
kingfisher.
powerful little bird.
It's a
man.
diver. It flies and it goes, hits the water, goes in the water, and gets their fish, and then they take off with their fish. But they're divers. They dive right into the water, get their food.
So it's called a fish.
And they're real small. They're not very big.